everyone, welcome back to the World of Warships Legends video. Today we're gonna take a look at Sevastopol. We're gonna talk about Sevastopol for a minute and then I'm gonna show a battle with me playing the Sevastopol. So Sevastopol, we have 6 big guns, battleship caliber 15-inch guns, but they are very accurate. Actually, they're more accurate than Alaska Stalingrad because Sevastopol gets true cruiser dispersion, but the 180-degree turn time of your main battery is pretty slow. It's much slower than Alaska, and if you take the reload mod in the 4th slot, it's gonna go up to like 42-43 seconds, so it's very slow. But then again, the reload is also slow too, so you sort of have to take that reload mod. And the other thing is the rudder shift time is also very slow, so it takes a while to turn this ship. And the other highlight about Sevastopol is its repair party, which I believe actually is a trap because it takes an entire minute to get your 18,000 hit points back, and then there's a 2 minutes cooldown. So basically it's one heal every 3 minutes, and if you get focused when your heal is on cooldown, you're gonna lose a lot of HP. For example, Alaska heals are like 13-14k, but the heal is only like 20-30 seconds and their cooldown is 50-60 seconds, so those heals you can cycle them much faster. Defense, you get a 24,000 heal, and that's only a 20-second heal with like a 50-second cooldown. So don't rely on your heals to save you. And if you get focused, then you try to save yourself, fall back and heal up. It'll take you 3 minutes and you'll be out of the battle for a while. So you have to be careful with your repair party with Sevastopol. And it has an engine boost, which is good, and it's 20%, which is good, but the disappointing thing is it's only for 45 seconds. And what else? Okay, so now we're gonna talk about the armor, and this is what I was gonna talk about earlier, is why you should play Sevastopol very differently than you play Alaska or Stalingrad. So Alaska and Stalingrad has 32mm plating, so you can bounce any shell up to 457mm shells. You can stay bow in angled, you can stay properly angled, and you can bounce those shells, and you still have 6 guns up front, so you still have a decent DPM. But with Sevastopol you have 6 guns in total, so if you try to play bow in, you're losing a lot of DPM. Matches like 15 minutes long. Most matches even don't last that long, but let's say it lasts the whole 15 minutes. That's what I have a full reload build on my Sevastopol, and it's like 16.8 seconds, something like that. So that's what, only 50 salvos, and so it's 300 shells fired if you fire all 6 of your guns. And if you're 50% accurate, then you're landing 150 shells. And again, if you're only playing bow in or only using 4 of your guns, that comes down to 100 shell landed over a 15-minute match, which is pretty low actually when you consider ricochets, shatters and everything. So the point about Sevastopol is you can't play it stationary, you can't play it bow in. You have to move around in the back, you have to use all of your guns for the DPM, otherwise your damage output is going to be too low. And also, if you stay bow in, you're going to take a lot of penetration damage from battleship shells, because anything 380, 381 will overmatch you. So even if you don't get Citadel, you'll take a lot of penetration damage. But the good thing is you have a very thick armor belt, like 220 millimeters, I believe. Actually, it's 230 millimeters. So yeah, you can bounce almost, every shell in the game as long as you're well angled and if it lands on your belt. You do have a decent casemate deck, auxiliary room deck, so you have decent protection there, but the point is don't stay straight with your stern pointing towards them or your bow pointing towards them. You'll take a lot of penetration damage, and with the long cooldown of your heals, that's not a great thing to do. You have to move around. You have to constantly move around in the back, and since your rudder shift time is pretty bad, you can't just rely on your rudder to dodge shells. So you have to use your throttle too. You have to use both your throttle and your rudder to throw off battleships. And we're gonna take a look at the build here that I'm using. I'm using Kuznetsov with Einstein to help the main battery reload, and we have Einstein for the main battery traverse speed, and we're using Mimbelli for the reload. I find Sevastopol to be pretty accurate already, so I'm not using Ivan BD Lightful for that fourth throw skill because that makes your detection even worse. It's already pretty worse, so I didn't think I need that, but you can try that if you want. Or if you want to try a fully repair party focused build, you can try Sevastopol because fires last 45 seconds on Sevastopol, and Sevastopol you get 5.7% as a base trait fire resistance. From row 1 you get another 8%, you get crisscross, and your transverse is actually pretty fast in this build. I think it's less than 30 seconds, like 25, 28, something like that. You get 2 extra heals, but the cool thing is you have will to rebuild, so you can actually turn your 60 seconds heals to a 30-second heal. You can cut down the duration by half, and your actual total amount of HP gained will be a little more than 18k, a little better. So you can actually pull off 4 or 5 heals during the match with this build, but I wanted the range with Kuznetsov, so I went with that. But if you're interested, you can try Sevastopol. So here we are at the Sea of Fortune map. The enemy team has 5 battleships, 4 of which can overmatch us. They have 3 cruisers, Jinan, Brisbane, Worcester. All 3 of them have way better concealment than us, and they have way better DPM. So we are not gonna go head first into the sea cap, because if we do get focused, we're gonna die right there, because there's no way we're reversing out of the DPM of those light cruisers, and with the long cooldown over hill, that's not a great thing to do. And if we do go there and then we try to turn around and show our broadside in front of 5 battleships, they're gonna send us back to port. So we're gonna stay at range at the early game, take shots, and this will also give us a lot of time to react whenever a BB fires at us. So I immediately start turning once I fired, and look at that, at 19 kilometer landed 5 out of 6 my shells and 14,000 damage. Pretty good salvo. Rhode Island is so close to that island, he can't lob his shells over that island, so I'm not worried about him. I'm worried about the Montana that I just fired at. So I start messing with my throttle, and I fire my rear turret at the Rosia. So I fired only 2 shells, and look at that, Citadel. And this is the important thing about Sevastopol. As I said, you can't just rely on your rudder to dodge shells. You have to mess with your throttle too, because the rudder shift of Sevastopol is not great, so you have to mess with your throttle and your rudder. As you can see, we already dodged a Montana salvo, and he fired and we expected it, and we are already out of the way again. And since we are so far away from him, we have a lot of time to react to his shells. If we were at 10-11 kilometers, then we would not have that time to react. But I'm not saying stay at the back of the map the whole game. You gotta do what you gotta do for the win, but at the early game, this might be a better strategy in general. So we take a shot at the Russia, but he's turning in, and still 10,000 damage, not bad. He's gonna fire at us, so we start moving forward to throw him off, and there we go. He fires, and we're already out of the way. We only take 1 overpen, so we're over 50,000 damage, and what, we only took 1,000, we only lost 1,000 HP, so pretty good so far. And we're already turning because we knew the Montana would fire, so yeah, only 1 overpen. Again, you have to use both your rudder, and you have to use your throttle. Take a blind shot at the Montana, but nope, nothing. There's a smoke at sea cap, so it must be either the Jinan or the Brisbane. I'm not sure which cruiser it is, because there's a torpedo threat. So let's wait. I'm not spotted, so he's still in the smoke. Again, the Rhode Island. I'm not sure what he's doing so close to the island. He's not pushing in, he's just staying in there, taking damage from our battleships at B. Again, I fired the Montana, but this time I am spotted. And no, it's not the destroyer, so the cruiser must be out of his smoke. Whichever cruiser that is, I might be too close to his smoke firing penalty, and there he is. Now he's out of his smoke, and we're gonna find out which one it is very soon. Montana can't lob shell at us anymore since he got frustrated after missing every salvo he fired at us, so he just decided he's gonna move closer. And we don't mind, because we still have half of the map behind us to go back to. So, oh okay, so it's the Brisbane. So I don't think his torpedo can't reach us. I think we're pretty safe here. So we fired at him, but I underestimated his acceleration, so we're probably gonna lose. Probably not gonna hit any of that salvo. And our Rhode Island is doing a great job actually to keep the enemy Rhode Island spotted and giving our battleships between the 2 battleships between B and C. Those guys are farming the enemy Rhode Island, so great job on our Rhode Island for doing the spotting over there, keeping him spotted. So Montana is moving in, and since Rhode Island is very low, he's probably gonna move in, so I'm trying to gain some distance so that I can lob some shells over. Montana is not waiting anymore, he's frustrated probably because of me, so he's just moving in and I'm firing at him. We're already halfway past the game, and I still have most of my HP and most of my heals, So I can start taking some risks now, but not something too stupid. But we're moving backward. Then we're gonna change our rudder to slightly angle, but I think we might take some damage here. Yeah, it's not bad. It's 3,000-4,000, so nothing landed on our stern, so that's not bad. So we immediately start moving forward. Again, 8,000 damage. The guns are pretty accurate. We're already close to the 100k mark, and Montana fires at us again, but we already knew and we are already turning, so only one overpen. Again, you gotta use your throttle and you gotta use your rudder and you gotta use them both at the same time. So Montana goes flat broadside and we have HE loaded, so we want to get rid of this HE and switch to AP. So I unload my HE on Rhode Island and I have AP loaded now. And I think Montana's trying to angle a little bit, maybe to not hit his Rhode Island. But we fire an HE salvo and look at that, 27,000 damage. Not bad, huh? So yeah, that Montana probably is pretty pissed at me right now, but it is what it is. So we pop our first hill, we start turning in. Rhode Island fired at us, but it's fine. We have an up HP and we basically have all our hills left. And the match is coming to an end soon, so we need to start moving in and getting rid of him. And so I start turning in towards him, try to get him off the board. We're already 135,000 damage. At the start of our battle, our reload was 16.8. I think now it might be below 15 maybe. I think so. Anyway, so we're trying to spot the Rhode Island to get rid of him. And our team actually did pretty well on all of the flanks, and once again it was very good spotting from the Rhode Island on our flank that allowed our battleships and B to farm the enemy Rhode Island. So anyways, we're moving in for the Rhode Island. He's probably gonna have to shoot me because, well, there is really no other option for him to shoot at anyone else. And I'm more than happy to take a shot from Rhode Island on my bow because he can't overmatch me. And I have way more HP than him right now. I have heals left. So at this point I don't really care anymore about my health. I just want to get as much damage as I can before the end of the match. So we start moving towards him, and seems like he finally decided to just go all in. So he's moving in too, and hold on, so it's a second. Yeah, he has more than 10 kilometer range on his secondaries. So that's a secondary build Rhode Island. I'm not sure if I would build Rhode Island as a secondary battleship. I think you might get more use out of it if you have like a full reload build, because yeah, they have a lot of range, but his secondaries don't pen anything. I think the penetration is very low. It doesn't pen 30 millimeters or anything. So I don't see the benefit in that, but it's up to the player to choose, to be honest. You can build any way you like as long as you enjoy it. So anyways, the Brisbane's running away. The Rosia, I'm not sure how is he still alive. Anyway, so we're gonna take some shots at him. Let's see if we can get some damage off of him. He might not, he might die before. Oh wait, he got the kill, nice. So all that's left now is a Brisbane, and there he is. And I hate myself because I have HE loaded, but rather than wasting that, I'll just shoot HE at him and switch to AP. We got 3 shells landed, started a fire, but of course he puts it out, so we'll try again. Let's see if we can finish him. No, he's turning away. I don't think we'll hit anything. Yeah, no. Anyway, so it was pretty decent game. Not a very glamorous game, not a lot of death strikes, but we did our job. We didn't have any broadside Minotaur sailing around to death strike, but this is how most of your battle in Sevastopol will look like if you manage your HP well, heal well, and if you use both of your throttle and rudder to throw off battleships. One last shot at the Brisbane. Did I take enough lead? No. Oh nice, so we got the kill on the Brisbane. So that comes down to 170k. That's all for today, guys. I hope it helps some of you out who are new to the game and is wondering how you should play your new campaign ship. So that's it. Take care. See you in the next video.